Now, hosting the Olympics can elevate a city's profile on the global stage, of course, and attract new foreign investment, entertainment, sporting events, and increase net migration. Today's segment will look at how Brisbane's Olympics will boost the Queensland economy and the opportunities that emerge for investors. So, Steve, let's get into it. How important is this Olympics announcement for Brisbane, and what do you think the key benefits are for Queensland in particular?
Well, Brisbane and Southeast Queensland have been on the rise for some time, and I think what this announcement is doing is it's going to really cement the opportunity for the region to come into its own over the next 10 years. There's a forecast cost of $5 billion to put on these Olympics, but KPMG is forecasting just over $8 billion injection into the Queensland economy as a result, $17.6 billion into the wider Australian economy and the creation of 100,000 new jobs. There are also forecasts that suggest over $8 billion in increased export opportunities will arise as a result of this, nearly $20 billion worth of international tourist expenditure, which isn't a surprise. And most importantly, I think for this segment, nearly $700 billion will be spent on infrastructure projects by the state and federal governments in the lead up to the Olympics to prepare Southeast Queensland and Brisbane for that event. And in addition to all of that, you've got the power of positive consumer and community sentiment, which is very difficult to measure, but it's a very important element of economic stimulus. So, Adrian, what this really means for investors is that economic growth in Brisbane and Southeast Queensland is about to shift into overdrive, and that's going to make the region very attractive for investors across a number of sectors, but in particular in relation to the property sector.
So let's talk about infrastructure. Just we'll touch on that point. I mean, it's like such a boring word sometimes, but when it comes to this, like it's so critical. Our infrastructure in Australia, I think, is really strong in many ways. But this is an opportunity to go to another level.
Yeah, it is. I mean, infrastructure is boring unless you're stuck on the M4 for an hour trying to get home. When you're in that position, infrastructure is really important to you.
Yes. Yeah.
But I think, so on the infrastructure announcements for Queensland, the exact details we don't quite know yet. They haven't been fully disclosed. You wouldn't expect that, 2 days after the announcement. But the overall amount of the spend that's being earmarked for infrastructure projects is about $700 million. What we do know is that that money will be spent on building new athlete villages, not just in Brisbane, but on the Gold Coast and on the Sunshine Coast. So that whole region is going to benefit. And it will also include upgrading road and rail networks, which link the Southeast Queensland locations that will be venues for the sporting events to each other and to Brisbane. And it also will involve the building of new venues and the upgrading of existing venues. So whenever you see an injection of that level of funding into any region to accelerate major city building projects, the attraction of the region as a place to live and as a place to work also increases materially. It creates a ripple effect throughout the economy, which can be very powerful. And I think that is what we're going to see in Southeast Queensland as a result of this announcement.
Now, property is an area that we've spoken about in the past. It's close to your heart, and we've talked about property in Brisbane and Queensland as well. So what does this announcement mean for the property market, do you think?
Yeah, so the Southeast Queensland property market is already undersupplied. And even before this announcement, it was forecast to remain undersupplied for at least until 2023-24. With this announcement, we expect that there will be an even greater increase in net domestic migration into Southeast Queensland, and that's going to put even more pressure on an already undersupplied housing market. Now, that can be good news for investors because it means price growth is likely to continue to be strong for some time. But it also means that Southeast Queensland will need a lot more residential housing stock, and therefore investors should expect to see a range of new residential property development projects coming online in the region over the next few years and in the lead up to the Olympics. So if you're an investor in Southeast Queensland property, you're likely to do very well over the next few years and in that lead up. If you're not, we certainly think it's an area that's worth considering.
And because of the time frame at the moment as well, it's an extended period of time. If we can get in, you can start to see the results over this next decade and then hopefully beyond. So in terms of investors, let's really narrow down on what they can look at the moment and how we can learn a bit more.
Yeah, so, well, we've talked about this before. There are obviously a number of ways that you can have exposure to a growing property market. One way is to actually buy property in that market. That's available to some people, but obviously not available to others because of the cost to go in. And another way is to invest in property projects. At VentureCrowd, we do both. So we've just released recently 4 new property development projects across southeast Queensland, ranging from a 76 architecturally designed townhouse project in Pimpamar, which is on the Gold Coast, to a 300-lot residential estate in Glenvale, which is west of Brisbane. Now, each of those projects are at different stages of development, and they are all funded by a syndicate of VentureCrowd members. These are typically people who want exposure to the growth in the southeast Queensland property market, but without actually buying properties and managing them themselves. So for investors who do like the southeast Queensland growth story, particularly off the back of the announcement of the Olympics, you can learn more about participating in those projects by heading to the VentureCrowd website, where all the information is available for all of them, and you can call and speak to our people if you need more information.
And in terms of VentureCrowd, just to finish, will you see this announcement as an opportunity for your work moving forward as well? Does this change, strategy, opportunities moving forward? How did you see this?
Yeah, so we were kind of banking on a Queensland win, right. And over the next 3 years, we will be doubling down on our. Well, but southeast Queensland specifically, we've been watching this area for a while and we're big fans. So we have partnered with a builder in southeast Queensland called Homecore Constructions, which is backed by Toyota. We've got really great design and architectural firms on our panel that we use, including DC8. So we're really going to be spending a lot of time working out where we think this announcement means growth for the southeast Queensland region and what we can do to conceive and develop and create great residential housing projects in those areas. So yes, it's absolutely an important part of our strategy, and we've got some big plans to roll out some property projects as well as others over the next 3 years.
It really is incredibly exciting. I think this conversation is the first time I've really thought about it, because we speak about the Tokyo Olympics at the moment and all the controversy surrounding that. And obviously it's a long period of time away, but given COVID and all this crap going on, it's such an exciting moment, and you'll keep us up to date with how investors can learn more about this. So I'm excited. You've made me excited today, Steve.
Yeah, look, it's nice to have some good news this week, isn't it?
Goodness me, more of that, please. You can be our good news guy, okay? That's your new role.
I'm on. I'm in.
Great stuff, mate. Awesome work. Take care up there. We'll talk again really soon.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks for joining us again on Ticker Invest. That's Steve Maarbani. If you want to learn more about how all of this works, go to venturecrowd.com.au/ticker-TV-LP, or just Google VentureCrowd. They're doing some awesome work. Steve is the boss up there, and he joins us every single week here on Ticker Invest with something new and exciting. And now I'm excited about the Brisbane Olympics. We'll catch you soon.